Happy New Year. I'm Ann Griffin. I'm a product leader and a product coach. And I've been sharing videos and articles that talk about how to use AI in, well, especially in product discovery, but other parts of the PM role so that you can actually focus on the high leverage things that are going to actually help you make the product win. So I'm actually sharing today a few things that Santa probably didn't leave in your stocking and things that you should probably invest in yourself so that you can be successful beyond 2025. And I'm actually going to start with two courses that I took in 2024 that I absolutely loved and were mindset shifting. And I still revisit the notes from those regularly. The first one, you've possibly seen me post about this before, but Shreyas Doshi's Improving Your Product Sense course. This course was incredibly mindset shifting. It really helps you really, I think, better understand when you hear me say, how do you make the product win? Our job as a product manager, is to make the product successful. That actually foundationally comes from this course, and this reset my mind about what is the goal and mission of a product manager. He is a no BS person. It is high signal content, meaning he doesn't have a lot of fluff or filler. You really do need to be mentally engaged for a lot of this course. And it really makes you confront a lot of the things that you might hold on to that you maybe felt were valuable or you feel like you're really strong at that maybe don't necessarily offer a lot in terms of making the product successful. So I highly recommend this course if you are open to different ways of doing things and you actually really care about how do I make this product successful and what do I need to do to practice, not just at work, but also outside of work so that I'm in a mindset where I can focus on the things that are going to make this product as successful as possible. And even one of my favorite things is Shreyas, and you've heard me talk about this before, is that execution is expensive, thinking is cheap, so you should do more thinking. But he even talks about, how do you even think about before you even create a product, is this going to be successful? So I really, really recommend this course. And yeah, there's tons and tons of testimonials out there. So if you don't think that this is a great testimonial, I highly recommend you reading some of the other things on Twitter or on the Maven site for this course. The second one I love by Dr. Julie Garner. This is Forging Titans, Achieving Outlier Performance as a product, as a leader, not necessarily a product leader, but this also helps cut through a lot of your own, I'll say your identity or other things that are blocking you from kind of going beyond where you are now so you become more. So her one-on-one coaching is incredibly expensive and there's a very long wait list, but this class is very accessible and it really shifts your mindset. And some of the things that I loved about the course is, thinking about what does it mean for me to be more, what does success mean to me? And what does it mean when I'm procrastinating on certain things where if I say this is my goal and then I don't do those things, what does that mean? How do I shift that perspective? Or even things where I might be nervous or feel anxiety about that. Is it that I'm actually nervous and have anxiety about it? Maybe, but it also might be something where this is really excited about it and I don't want to mess it up. So this has been really mindset shifting, and the combination of this and Shreyas's course has really helped me better prioritize things. And even when I maybe am procrastinating or don't feel like doing something, has helped me still be able to prioritize making time for these things that are really important for my personal and professional goals. So now I'm going to shift into other resources that aren't classes. The first one being Stratechery. So Stratechery is a newsletter. I think it's really, really great. I actually heard about this through Marty Kagan in one of his workshops. And they talk a lot about what's going on in big tech, how these leaders in big tech are thinking, what are the trends, why are they doing things, what are we going to expect moving forward. And while this isn't solely an AI newsletter, obviously AI is really changing things in the tech industry. And so it's been really interesting having him bring in people who know a lot about like Jensen from NVIDIA, or talking about Apple's direction with AI, or even what's going on, in OpenAI or even Google right now. So this is really valuable to kind of get a broader perspective of what's going on in the tech industry. And especially as things are changing super rapidly right now, it's really, really great to have a high quality resource that's not just hot takes about what is going on and why it might be happening. Another resource I'm going to recommend is a coach. And okay, yes, I am also a coach, but I also have a coach. So this January, so now I am celebrating my 2-year coach anniversary with my product coach. And this has really shifted things for me because there were some times where I wasn't really sure what the right thing was to do. And I felt like sometimes I was guessing at certain points. And I feel so much more confident. I often feel like I know what the right next thing to do is. And it's just, I think that this is something where, if taking classes in product management is like getting a tool, then a coach is someone who helps you learn how to use this tool masterfully. And so I think about this as a difference between you're taking a Bob Ross painting class versus having an apprenticeship with Michelangelo. And so that's why I love having a product coach. And I love being able to bring questions I have, big or small, to this coach and be able to work on my craft and my skills. So this is something I really value, even in my own life. And a couple other things I'm going to mention here are actually AI specific. And so one of these is, actually two of them, I combine them together, is Claude and ChatGPT, the paid versions. And I highly recommend the paid version of Claude, partly because you get access to certain models earlier, but also I love the concept of projects, and you have to have a paid version of Claude to use projects. And one of the things that I did recently with the paid version of Claude is I've actually created projects with different prompts to be different advisors. So even though I'm not letting AI necessarily dictate my future, I am coming to it with very specific questions and asking for feedback. So I actually went to it with some marketing questions and partnership questions. And I have a project now that has a prompt that is specific to marketing, other things in business. And I ask it questions, and I have a combination of things that what I think marketing, things I've noticed in really successful marketing, but also people I really respect in marketing, and asking it to take that perspective. And I actually used another LLM to actually help me craft this, I'll say, this prompt. So I actually get really great feedback from it. And again, I'm not letting it come up with the ideas, but I get really great feedback from it, that of things where I'm like, oh, I never thought about it that way, or where the holes are in my plans. So I have a few of these for different things. They even have a financial one, which was really interesting because it gave me an idea. And when I talk to people I know, where I was like, hey, I got this idea from AI, because I was asking it, hey, what are some things I can do based on X, Y, and Z? It actually gave me an idea. And also, whether it's like for, hey, what are some things I should be thinking about that are going to be successful 10 years from now, or just things that are, or just some things of like, what are alternatives to savings accounts that are, relatively low risk. So those are some things that I really love with Claude. ChatGPT, highly recommend this paid version, especially for their model O1. This is a really great reasoning model. I especially love this at work to actually think through some of my technical thoughts of like, oh, we might need to structure it this way if it has an impact on how this will, how the user will be able to use this product. And so I actually use that for feedback, get ideas from it, so that I can actually present this to my technical counterparts. So I'm coming to the table with something to like reduce that cognitive load. And they can tell me this is, this isn't very good, or they can tell me, oh yeah, like here's what we want to do instead, or hey, this was great. Other AI tools I highly recommend, and if you're on Twitter or X, you have probably seen a lot of product leaders talking about these, where Replit, Bolt, you could also use V0. I also have a V0 subscription, but I really think these are very important. If your company doesn't have a subscription to these, and they're not going to, I highly recommend getting a subscription to both, because more and more you're going to see this product industry expect product managers to be able to prototype with AI. These are really simple, And you don't need to know how to code. It will create code. There will be limitations if you don't know how to code, but if you need to create something, it just needs to be up and running, be able to have some buttons where you can click on things. This is really great. I really love Replit because it is a little bit more robust than Bolt, and it has really easy ways to integrate with like OpenAI's APIs or also Anthropic's APIs. Bolt, I think, is a bit better at design. V0, I have liked. I think it is pretty good at design, but I think that Bolt and Replit, in terms of robustness of the prototypes they build, are a bit better. And so, highly recommend this. And I think it's going to be more and more important as we see people having to explain their trade-offs. And then I think this is something where you've also seen this in my previous post, where it's going to be really important to actually be able to build these before we invest time in, going too far down a rabbit hole of a specific path, to actually be able to get early feedback from customers to understand, are we thinking about approaching this problem in the right way? So this is incredibly important. And I think you're going to want to leave 2025 with these skills. So definitely recommend getting a subscription here. The last thing is actually something that is absolutely free. So Santa wouldn't be able to give this to you, but it's something you can give yourself, is time to practice. And this is something where I never really thought about this. I've thought about, I need time to listen to these podcasts for product management. I need time to listen to these books. But, one of the things that Shreyas talked about, and it shouldn't be something I necessarily got from Shreyas, but I never thought about it much before his course, was the fact that, people don't really get better unless you're really practicing your craft, very intentionally, and taking time to practice, and realizing that, our time to practice as product managers shouldn't just be in the workplace. And yes, it is important to rest. It is important to have balance, but in that balance, it's important to find time to actually practice these things, whether it's practicing prototyping with AI, whether it's practicing things like putting together strategy, practicing things, like simulating, how our customers think. These are all really important things. And I think this is a really important gift that we can give to ourselves, that we often tell ourselves, is not needed, we can do on the job. So these are the things that I recommend for you to invest in yourself in 2025. I think this is going to put you ahead of the game, especially as we see AI change the landscape of our field pretty significantly. So a few things before I wrap up this video. This February 24th, the 5th live version of Jumpstart Your AI Career, a course that is helping people put together a roadmap for learning about AI. It's on Pearson O'Reilly. That's happening. Really, really excited for it. So I'll see you February 24th. If you go to the bottom of this article, if you're in Substack, you'll see the bottom of the article. You can register for this class there on February 24th. I'll see you on O'Reilly. And also, I'm a product coach. So if anything you see here you want help with, I can help you with that. And I also coach teams in terms of using these prototyping tools for product discovery so that they can more quickly build out successful products. And that also includes prototyping with AI. So Happy New Year. And I hope this is helpful and that you choose to invest in one or more of these. If nothing else, invest in time to practice. So Happy New Year and have a great one. Stay curious. Bye.